Hey everyone, this is Yami, your Latina next door. Welcome back to my channel. I am in the Christmas spirit, and in this video I'm going to bring you guys several Dollar Tree DIYs that will not look like crafts by the time you're done, and also be very budget friendly for this Christmas season. Alright, so for this first DIY, I'm going to take some of these little terracotta pots, and I'm only going to use one. However, they do come 2 for $1 at your local Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and paint it white. Next, I am going to get one of these foam cones that you can get at the floral section of Dollar Tree, as well as some of this nautical rope that you can find there as well. And what I'm going to do is I am going to take the tape off the edge, and I am going to add hot glue to the end of it to seal it from fraying. I am going to place the nautical rope starting at the bottom, and I am going to make sure it aligns with the very edge of that cone. That way everything lies flat. I'm going to bring it around and go over the other end and keep it really tight. That way it looks really nice and clean. When getting to the very top, I'm going to leave a little hole as you see right there. I'm going to cut off the excess, and then I'm actually going to stuff a little bit of glue inside that hole and then the edge of that rope. This way it gives it a nice clean finish at the top. I am going to cut some of Dollar Tree's floral foam, insert it inside the terracotta pot, glue it down, and then glue the little tree part onto the floral foam. And that's it for this DIY. Now, if you're wondering where those other two white and khaki little trees are from, they are also DIYs that I did last year, and this is what they look like. I also have a video of how to create them if you guys want to check them out, but I think that this new addition to it is absolutely perfect and coordinates so well. Now for this next DIY, we're going to use any container you have on hand. I just happen to have this one from Dollar Tree from Valentine's Day that I never used, and so that's what I'm going with for this. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to paint it. We're going to make this look like galvanized metal. And if you haven't seen my previous DIY video where I share how to create a galvanized look on pretty much anything, and I did it on these chargers from Dollar Tree. I basically take you step by step during the transformation of these chargers and share exactly how to recreate this look. So I'll go ahead and link it above in the cards as well as in the description box. So if you're interested in that technique, definitely check it out. Now, the first thing you do want to keep in mind is that for your first color, like this one that you see here, is that you use a chalk paint. That way it adheres really great onto the actual container, and then the next paint will adhere easily onto it. Now here you see me using a large spouncer. However, if you do plan on doing this, make sure you use the little makeup sponges that you get from Dollar Tree. That is definitely much better than the large spouncer. It gives it an even better look. I just wasn't able to find any of my sponges when I filmed this video. Next, I took some more floral foam, glued it to the center of this, and because I didn't have much floral foam left, I took this really tacky garland that I had removed from some other like Dollar Tree decor, and I decided to use it as a filler for my container. I took a Dollar Tree glass vase, and then I had some picks, some greenery picks, and if you don't have just simple greenery picks, I recommend that you get some. These are from a couple of Christmases ago. And the reason I like them is that no matter what color scheme you have for Christmas, you're usually going to have greenery incorporated in it. And if you have just simple greenery picks just like this, and I actually got these on clearance, you can add any kind of color bulbs or any actual berries. Anything, you can change it up every single year and you will always have that green base that you can use every single time. So instead of buying new picks every year, you just add a couple of little touches depending on how your decor changes. And I just added some silver bulbs because I wanted to keep things neutral. I added some eucalyptus to bring that rustic touch to it, and a little bit of these white sprigs from Dollar Tree. I added one of those battery powered candles from Dollar Tree as well, and some ribbon to the center of the pot. And that was it for this DIY. Alright, so for this next DIY, do you remember those candle holders that I did in my last video? Well, I had another one of those little wooden discs, basically begging me to do something with it. I took another one of these vases as well as some of these little Dollar Tree Christmas trees that I had on hand and some faux snow. Oh, and this right here, that's actually like a side piece of a ribbon roll that had run out. I just took it apart because I needed something to adhere the trees to as well as the snow, but I didn't want to adhere it to that little base because I wanted to reuse it over and over again. So this fit just inside that vase and I thought, why not? This is what I'm going to use. Now once the snow was attached, I placed it on top of the little wood plaque and then I put the glass vase over the top of it. However, I wasn't done yet. If you guys recall this sweet little vase that I did for spring, and I put it on top of this white riser that I made from Dollar Tree items. I also used this riser for my fall tablescape last year, and I always like to create items that I can use over and over again in different ways in my home for different seasons, and this is just one of the examples, so I wanted to share that with you guys. I'll make sure to link to the tutorial in the description box as well as the cards above if you guys want to check it out. The final thing I did was add a ribbon to the very top of this faux globe, if you will, and I also added a nice little bow. So for this next one, we're going to add on to our faux snow globe. And if you don't want to purchase anything and use something that you already have on hand, well, you can always use those candle jars. I like to keep them, clean them out, and save them for occasions like this. And once again, I'm going to use that fake snow for this. And I think the key to keeping these looking very nice and classic and high-end is to keep them very simple. And for this one, I just added one little tree and one of those little snowflake ornaments that you can get at Dollar Tree. I put the lid back on and I got some ribbon and I used it to tie it around the top part of the jar. This is one of those areas where you can customize this for your color scheme. You can use a bow, a ribbon, any color you want, and that's basically it. So for this next DIY, we're going to do another version, and I'm going to use this little sled ornament from Dollar Tree as well as what my daughter calls a fish bowl. Now, since the bow was not my style or in my color scheme, I decided to remove it and replace it with something of my own. I made a simple bow with my neutral ribbon and I added it to the sled. I didn't want the sled to look empty inside of the little globe, so I decided to make another little bow. This time I used a khaki ribbon as well as a little wreath from Dollar Tree as well. I removed the original red bow and added the khaki one, and I would place it inside of the sled. Now I could totally leave it just like that. However, I'm a girl of my word. I like to make things that I can use things over and over again. And if you recall this little riser, I gave it a galvanized metal finish to it. I did this in the spring and I wanted to use it for the base of this little snow globe, and I went ahead and added it to it, and I think it looks perfect. Plus it gives my little display a little bit of height differentiation, which I love. I'll make sure to add that tutorial in the description box as well as the cards above. I'd love to know what you guys think of this little display. I think it's absolutely charming. Now, I appreciate you guys watching this all the way to this point. Let me know which one of these was your favorite. Make sure to hit like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe so you can get even more inspiration like this, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Don't forget about my second vlogging channel, The Latinos Next Door, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, adios!